I have a lot on my heart and on my mind, and this entire video is just very spontaneous. So I hope you guys can hear me very well. Soulful Vegan Eats was created because we are people with a very rich culture. We are passionate about the food that we make. And at the same time, we have these habits that are literally killing us. Because I want you guys to really understand that food is energy for the body. And that when given the right food, our body has the ability to heal itself. It's an entire system out there through our hospitals, through our healthcare system, through the pharmaceutical companies, through the Food and Drug Administration. And I'm going to be honest, I don't believe that they truly care about us. When it comes to our preventive care, these systems are not built, they are not designed to offer us preventive care. You go into a hospital, you are given a diagnosis. That diagnosis then feels like a lifelong sentence. You are then told to take several different medications that has lots of side effects. You are given no alternatives, no other options. Many of us are not even in a position to get a second opinion. And the providers, the doctors who are actually seeing us, do not have the information when it comes to true nutrition, when it comes to herbs, when it comes to alternative health options, how we can heal ourselves. They do not have that information. And many of them do not support that information. And so we're sent home with medication that we then believe we have to take for life. And we are terrified, many of us, because these lifelong sentences that come from these diagnoses, we feel like we have absolutely no power. And when we go into a hospital, when we're dealing with nurses, when we're dealing with dietitians, we're in a position where we have absolutely no other option but to listen to everything they are saying and to do it, because now we're vulnerable and we feel helpless and we know nothing else. My grandmother loved soul food. My grandmother was a woman that was from Philadelphia, but her family moved just one generation before her from down south, from South Carolina, from New Orleans, from North Carolina, into the East Coast. So she made her mother's food. I watched my grandmother die of cancer. I watched my mother battle type 2 diabetes. I watched other women in my family have breast cancer and die of breast cancer. I watched my aunt had her limb removed from type 2 diabetes. Do you understand? I watched my best friend be diagnosed with cancer. And I seen people who were afraid. People who passed away, people who transitioned, who are now our ancestors, because they just didn't have the information. They didn't know how to empower themselves. They didn't know how to heal themselves, and no one gave them that information. They didn't know, how do I take my habits? How do I take the way I've been eating my entire life? And let's be honest, most of us are not just eating to eat. We're eating because we have trauma. We're eating because we're sad or we're hungry. We're eating because we're excited, because we're bored, because we're lonely. And many of us are eating because we are depressed. We are eating our emotions away. So how do you get a diagnosis, get medication that's filled with side effects, go home and say, okay, I'm going to change my life, when I have no real guideline, when I have no real information, when I have absolutely no experience making these meals? And then we look at ourselves and we feel like, I went back to my cravings again. I went back to eating the way I know how to eat. The eczema, the fibroids, much of this has to do with our food that we're eating. Yes, we have other things that are happening in our atmosphere and our energy and our, the world we live in is polluted. There's all these other things that are happening, right? But our bodies are made to heal themselves when given the opportunity to do so. And some might say, okay, well, you know what? I have a dietitian. And my dietitian told me that these foods are healthy. And I'm going to be honest with you. We are very lucky, us people of color, because we come from Dr. Sebi. We come from Dr. Layla Africa. We come from so many other people that are out there that are trying to inform you that, you know what? We need to be on alkaline diets because we are alkaline people. Do you understand? So if you have a dietitian and they're still telling you to eat acidic foods, they're telling you, oh, you can eat meat, but you can eat low carb, small portions of meat that are literally cancerous. Do we not have enough documentaries and information telling us this is? They're going to tell you you can eat acidic food that's mucus causing. How are we going to heal illness if we're eating mucus forming foods? Do you understand? And this is the problem if you're going to a dietitian, if you're speaking to a nurse, if you're going to somebody who just doesn't have the information about alkaline and electric foods. We are people that deserve to be empowered. And our hospitals, our pharmaceutical companies, as you may know, they are profiting off of us not having the information. They are profiting off of us. And I mean us when I say the human race, but especially people of color, because we are coming in at high numbers when it comes to diabetes, when it comes to high blood pressure, and so much more. By the time we find out we even have cancer, a lot of us are at stage 3. Do you understand? And I'm getting emotional because I have a family member that is battling it right now. And I'm literally talking to them in a hospital, a person who has type 2 diabetes, and they're in the hospital was feeding them apple juice, a salad with ranch dressing, and they turned the ingredients on the other side and it said it had high fructose corn syrup in the ranch dressing. They're giving them mucus forming food. They're giving them a salad that barely has anything in it. They're giving them literally the dairy, the sugar, the apple juice full of preservatives, and that's literally that's a liquid sugar to a diabetic. And I'm working against that system. I make meal plans, but I can't force somebody to do it. But I still believe in you, just like I believe in that person, that you have the ability to absolutely transform your life. These food-related illnesses and diseases are not a life sentence. You have the ability, because we come from a powerful, resilient group of individuals, of people, of ancestors. And if you feel motivated, if you feel inspired to do so, you can absolutely transform your life. I'm just here to give you tools and knowledge. Soulfood Vegan Eats is not just telling you what foods that you should be eating that are actually clinically proven, but it's more than just what a food list. We're talking about recipes that are all about our culture. I don't know what they're doing in other places. This is all soul food. This is all Caribbean food, and it doesn't take time to make. And the reason why I did that is because nobody has time. I don't know about y'all, but I don't have time to be in that kitchen for 45 minutes. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm a mother of 3 children, including a toddler. I do not have time for that. And I know my loved ones do not have time for that. So we're talking about the recipes that are quick meals. We're talking about how to actually buy the food so that it's affordable. I spent the majority of my life on welfare, including my childhood, and most people feel like there's absolutely no way that you can eat healthy food and actually make it affordable and low cost. That's not true. You do not need to, and this is no offense to Trader Joe's and Whole Foods, but you do not need to spend your entire check over there and then come out with, not enough groceries to even last you for half of the week. That's just no. I'm making this food and this meal plan available to people who are all different type of situations. Where you're the senior, where you're somebody who is on welfare, where you're somebody who has a job, but you want a budget. This is actually for you for a reason, because I know how hard it was. I spent literally over a decade being vegan. And it wasn't until me being in a supportive group of friends, of people who were like me, of my husband who's like, we're not spending that type of money. This is how we're going to do it. So I'm telling you how to do it so that it's simple and it's easy. Because we're talking about the food that you need to actually survive and thrive. And there's no way I'm going to give it to you in a package or a deal where you can afford to make it sustainable and keep it up in your actual life. But literally, and I tell people, juicing is amazing. Juicing is amazing. A lot of people think because of their condition or because of their medication that they cannot juice. I'm going to show you how you actually can juice. I'm talking about real recipes, the recipes that are made, that are designed to actually reverse these illnesses, that are going to actually cleanse your organ. Because your organs, by the way, we've spent, a lot of us, 30-40 years eating food that's literally, it's caused so much damage. So you're going to actually get the recipes that are actually have the ability, when you use it, to utterly change your cells and your DNA. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Oh my gosh, I love juicing, and it is going to be amazing. Okay. The other thing that I'm giving away is herbs. I started working out at Dr. Wyatt's in University Herbs in Philadelphia, if any of you guys know about that, and Dr. Wyatt. And that's where I learned herbs. This light is really hot. That's where I learned herbs, and that's where I learned how powerful they were. Seeing people that came in with all type of ailments and who we were actually able to help. So I want you guys to utilize herbs, not just drinking teas, which I tell you, I show you in my actual meal plan how to actually use herbs so that they have high potency, and where to source the herbs, and exactly what herbs and combinations work well together for. Also, I have it in every recipe that you are utilizing herbs in every single recipe, just about every single recipe that there is in the meal plan. Okay, so it is very important to utilize this information all together. And lastly, this is what I'm really excited about. I'm also showing you guys, I'm also showing you guys how to actually eat. We don't, that is so, I would love to share more. I want to, oh my gosh, we have to know how to eat. There's a time to eat. Talking about what kind of water, we're talking about every single thing when it comes how to eat, to live, to thrive, because it's more than just eating healthy food. It's more than that. It's about creating a lifestyle. I want you to understand that the real reason why I came to talk to you, because I wanted to give my heart and tell the truth to you guys about not just how passionate I am about this and about you, but I think it is alarming how so many of us are dying of illnesses that are 100% reversible, just because we don't have the information. I don't know about you guys, but I do not eat healthy food that is bland. I will not eat healthy food that lacks flavor. I will not, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, because I believe my life is designed and made for me to enjoy and love food. If anybody who knows me knows I'm a true foodie. Okay, I love food. I love food, and I think about food all the time. I love Caribbean food. I love food. So for me, I said, I don't want to just give people, oh, this is what you can eat. No, we're going to give you the most delicious, amazing food. And like I said, I'm a mother, so I know what it's like to deal with, picky eaters. You know what I mean? So I made sure I put my absolute favorite meals and dishes so that you guys can experience real joy from cooking, from soul food. Real joy. Literally seen miracles. I've seen people get their energy back, feel empowered, no longer have to take medication. I've seen so many powerful things, and the same thing is with me. And I really want to actually give you guys in the future a fully raw book. I was somebody who, I suffered from headaches. I suffered from really bad eczema, all kind of acne, skin conditions, digestive issues, constantly constipated. I suffered from headaches, and I was extremely dehydrated, had hair loss. And this is me when I was, I think I want to say in my early 20s, you know, and I went fully raw. And literally, I'm telling you guys, maybe in 2-3 weeks, the flaky dandruff and the hair issues I was having was just disappearing. My headaches disappeared. Everything was just disappearing. And by the time I got to 2-3 months, I was just like, wow, I didn't even know I can think clearly. Like, a lot of us have no idea what it feels like to not have a foggy brain. It was issues that I didn't even know I was dealing with until I became raw. It wasn't so much that they came to the surface, is that I literally felt better. Like, I didn't know I had a foggy brain. I didn't know that. I didn't know that I lacked energy. I thought it was normal for me to feel tired. I was like, I'm just tired. I'm just tired. We all, Black people, we said all the time, I'm tired. I'm always tired. We have no idea it's our actual food. It's chemical derived food. It's food filled with chemicals. And I don't just mean the actual preservatives. I mean the flavoring, the colors, the dyes. They literally put chemicals in the food to actually send triggers to your brain so that you actually are feeling withdrawals when you're not eating it. You understand that? So it's literally making you more hungry, making you have addictive addiction to these foods, and causing all type of thoughts and depression, anxiety. It is terrifying what's happening to us. And that's something that makes me really sad. And before I got here, I literally, you know, before I got on camera with you guys, I prayed to God and I said, what do I say? Because I want people to understand the severity of what's happening in our country, what's happening around the world, how because we don't have the information that these companies are preying on us. They are literally using us and they are letting us die. And the only way they say they're helping us is giving us medication, the same medication that has so many side effects that you heal one part of the body and then it causes issues in the other part of the body. How is that profitable? Because they can now give you more medication and now you have other issues you have to deal with. Dr. Sebi, who, you know, some of you guys who are familiar with his work, said there's only one disease. There's only one disease. It is about treating yourself on a holistic level. It's not about treating the lump that's on the breast. It's not about treating the yeast that's in the hair or the scalp or the face. It's about treating the entire body, because we have a blood that pumps through our entire body. We have all our cells, right? We have our DNA. We have all these things that are working together as a system. So it is important that we treat the entire whole body holistically. And one of the things that I also talk about outside of actual nutrition, I also talk about holistically about our mind and our spirit and our body, because I believe it all works together. And we don't have a healthcare system that believes in a holistic ideology of how we treat a patient. We are responsible for ourselves. We are responsible for our family. We are responsible for our children. We're responsible for our seniors in our lives, because we do not, and I want to repeat this, we do not have to die in pain. We do not have to die of illness that is reversible, and especially not because of food. I want you guys to understand that. I'm sorry, I'm getting very emotional. But I want you guys to really understand that and know that. And if you order it, if you try it, if you love it, this is not Netflix where they're like, hey, you know, you can't share this with other households. No, I want you to share your meal plans, everything that you're learning from Soulfood Vegan is with every single body you know, especially if it's transforming your life. And I thank those people who have already done so. As you guys know, it's an instant download. There's no shipping, there's no handling. You can start right now. And so, you know, we are, well, I'll say this, I'm very delightful. I feel I feel like it's how do I say this? I feel joy to be able to share delicious, amazing food with you guys. And the joy that I get from this is knowing that we are actually changing lives, that we are actually becoming empowered, that we are actually healing ourselves. and we are having the freedom and of feeling and of going on the journey of actually becoming medication free. When you are following the meal plan, you got to put some love in that cooking. You know, put some love in it, put your heart, put your soul in it, put your feelings in it, believe in it. You know, that'll raise the vibration of it, you know, and it works even better, and it tastes even better when you do it from that place. And I love you, and I'm proud of you, and I believe in you. I know you can do it, and I know you are a warrior. You are strong, and you are designed and created to actually be able to heal yourself. I'm here, I'm available, and I love you. Peace.